Welcome to Cuillin FM. And who am I welcoming? I'm welcoming Kiki Dee and Carmelo Ruggeri. Is that right?
That's right.
You got it right.
How are you both?
We're great.
That's great. Now, the reason I'm talking to you, of course, is because you've got a brand new album out, which I must say is absolutely fantastic. It blew me away, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But first of all, can we talk about you, Kiki, and then we'll come on to Carmelo. You've been in pop for 30 years now, is that right?
Yes.
Well, can I say that you still look absolutely fantastic? Especially
it's a bit of an effort. I have to tell you, it's a bit of an effort.
Oh, no, I'm sure it isn't. I'm sure
I mean, the thing is, you have to look after yourself, don't you?
You do. Well,
I don't know how
that.
Keith Richards does it, you know. I've got this theory that he goes to bed at 9 o'clock every night with a cup of cocoa and pretends to be hedonistic.
Do you think so?
I reckon. Yeah.
Oh, I think you're probably right. Now, how did you two meet up then and decide to work together?
Well, in the mid-90s, or early mid-90s, I had a best-of album coming out.
Can you get early mid-90s?
Well, early mid-90s, yeah. I mean, I think it was about 93. And Carmelo was drafted in, as they say, to produce a couple of tracks, bonus tracks. And we started writing and playing acoustically, and that's how it started, really, and we've been working together ever since.
Oh, right. Now, Carmelo, you yourself have had a very rich career, apart from working with Kiki. You've worked with some great legends, haven't you? And you produced the recordings.
Yeah.
And now, who have you worked with?
Well, ranging from Bill Wyman to Andy Williams, Julian Lennon, all sorts of people.
That is a range, isn't it? Andy Williams.
Yeah. Oh, wow. He's an experience.
I can believe that. Anyway. Now, do you actually produce the other recordings you're doing now? Do you produce?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got a little studio.
All right.
I mean, for me, this whole gig, which started, as Keek said, in the early mid-90s, has been fascinating. You know, she's an amazing artist to work with. She's very forward-looking, and the gig suits me, and I love the fact that she wants to go forward with her music. It would be very easy for her just to kind of keep going around the old ground again, if you know what I mean.
I know a few people that do that, don't you?
Yeah, and that's the thing I respect about her.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
I just think you just choose what's best for you, don't
yes,
you?
but after a while, it's sort of, you know, it does wear. You know, going to see these, you know, the '60s revisited, and you know, it does get very boring. The other reason I said earlier on about your new album was because I hadn't heard the one beforehand.
Where Rivers Meet.
Yeah, no, yes, I hadn't actually heard that one. And when this one came through, we got the other album as well, and I've had them on the CD player for about a week now, and I'm just not getting fed up with them, which is really good.
Oh wow, that's lovely.
That is good. Yeah.
But the one that blew me away was Running Up That Hill, because I thought to myself, no, you know, excuse me, Kiki, you know, and I do love you, but you know, a Kate Bush song, how are you going to do this?
Absolutely.
And
I totally agree with you.
Can I tell you, it's just wiped all my memory of Kate Bush out of my head.
Like, that came out of a live. We were looking for things to play live because we do, you know, we address the past. We do, you know, Kiki songs in an acoustic style.
Yeah.
And Carmelo did an arrangement on. We were looking for, you know, it's very hard to find the right covers, and Carmelo came up with this arrangement, and we do it live, just keyboard and guitar.
Can I say that the album is about kind of going for it and overcoming adversities and your fears, and all creative people are a bit insecure. I'll try and be quick. We were invited to Ron Dennis's birthday party in the south of France. Ron Dennis of McLaren fame, and there was this amazing guitarist there. Funnily enough, he was Italian.
Oh well.
And I was getting so nervous because he was just unbelievable. And I thought, oh God, they're going to ask me to play in a minute. And anyway, he was using this wacky. I use a lot of open tunings, and he was using this tuning. And anyway, got to meet him, and I sussed his tuning out, And so what started as fear ended up as me going home, mucking about with this tuning, and coming up with the arrangement and the voicings for running up that hill. So you see, things can always come out of things like that.
There you
So
go. And
just
how
a brief background to
I
it.
know, and how the world goes round, you see.
Yeah, as Kiki was saying, though, lyrically as well, when we're looking for covers, it's getting things that are challenging lyrically, and that is a hell of a lyric, actually.
Yeah.
Now, Kiki, you've of course, 30 years in pop, but you've also been doing musical theatre as well, haven't you, through the years? Pump Boys and Dinettes and Blood Brothers.
I've always had periods when I've not worked and thought, what am I going to do now? But because I've been around so long, I've managed to squeeze a lot of different things in. And there were periods in my music career where I thought, I don't know what to do next. And I got a call from Bill Kenwright a few years ago, in the 80s actually, saying, would I be interested in doing the lead in Blood Brothers? You've got 3 weeks to learn it.
That sounds
So
like
I
Bill
thought,
Kenwright.
wow, exactly. So I went along and wasn't really that attached, if you know what I mean,
Yes.
which is always a good thing, isn't it?
Yes.
Because if you're not attached to something, it usually happens. And so I had 3 weeks, and we toured it in rep for 7 months, and then it came into the West End in '88. And it's still running, so
It is
there
indeed.
you go.
But yes, no, I remember seeing it with you in it. And I remember,
did you?
Yes, and I'll really embarrass you. I remember seeing Pump Boys and Dinettes, but we won't talk about that.
Wow. That's a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Yes, it was a long time ago. Now, you were also the first European to be signed up to Tamla Motown. Is that correct?
Yes, when I was 21, I got a fluke phone call from Detroit to my management company saying we've heard someone in the admin side of Motown their son has heard Kiki's voice and we'd like to fly her over. And I thought it was a wind-up. I thought someone was, joking.
Yeah.
And I went over there and spent 12 weeks there recording and singing. It was the late 60s, so they weren't quite as hot as they had been. Having said that, I grew up with Motown and loved, the duets with Kim Weston and Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell and Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder, who I still love to this day. So I was in awe, but considering the time I was there and the material I was given, I think I did quite a good job. It's just I didn't live there, and the creative side of the company, when I arrived, they didn't know who I was and why I was there, really. So it was all a little bit bizarre. I wish I'd filmed it. Would have made a great documentary, wouldn't it?
That'd have been good nowadays. Anyway, I see our time's almost up here, so I do have to say goodbye, but this album is going to be fantastic, and I'm sure it'll do great stuff in the record shops. And
I hope so.
if anyone wants to buy it, Walk of Faith, and I think we've got a couple of copies we're going to be giving away as a competition as well. If you do get it, remember track 4, Running Up That Hill. You'll never take it off. It's fantastic.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Nick.